Another skill that's going to be fairly useful in this unit is going to be the ability to get a graph from an equation. So as you can see here, I have the equation y is equal to negative 2x plus 5. I've also gone ahead and made a table of values with the values for my x going from negative 3 to 3. That's going to be a fairly common one that you're going to see when you're doing these types of questions. Of course, it's going to depend on the scenario, but in this particular case, that one works fine. So in order to fill in your table of values, you're going to substitute your value in the x column for your x in your equation. If you were to write it out, it's going to look for something like this. So we're going to have negative 2 times negative 3, which is positive 6, plus 5, which in this case is going to give us 11. So that's what's going in my first column here. Continuing on, I'm going to do it with the next value. So we're going to have negative 2 times negative 2 plus 5, which is going to give me 4 plus 5, which is going to give me 9. After a little bit, you might start to see a pattern, and then you might be able to fill the rest of them in without necessarily writing all of this down. I'll do another one to see if we can make sure that we can pick up on our pattern. So we have negative 1 times negative 2. It's going to give me 2 plus 5 is going to give me 7. Hopefully by now we've noticed that it's going to be going down by 2 each and every time. And all that means is that you can likely fill in the rest from here. So 11, 9, 7. I can probably safely say that this one is a 5, a 3, a 1, and then this one right here is going to give me negative 1. So once you have your table of values, then you can go ahead and start doing your graph. So I have mine laid out here. On my x-axis, which is my horizontal axis, I've put my 1, 2, 3, negative 1, 2, 3. Yes, the negative and positive sides do matter. Going vertically here, I have my y-axis. I don't actually have all of the lines specifically labeled going up. I just labeled them by 2s just because it kind of can look a little bit cluttered. As long as you are careful in doing that, it should be okay. So starting out with my first one, I am going to plot negative 3, and then I'm going to go all the way up here to 11. And then my negative 2, going to go all the way up to 9. Negative 1 goes all the way up to 7. 0, it's going to be 5. My 1, it's going to be 3. 2, it's going to be 1. And then my 3 is going to go over the x-axis into the next quadrant. So this is what this is going to look like at this point. If I correctly plotted things, it should form a straight line, which it does. There's a few different things that you might be asked at this point. You might be asked, is this actually a linear relation? Does it form a straight line? And as we just saw, it does. We also might be asked if it would make sense for us to connect the points. Where in this particular situation, we are just given an equation and a table of values. There's no specific situation attached to it. In this case, we actually can connect our points because basically any value that we put in for x, because we aren't given any kind of situation or any kind of like constraints to this, can actually work. So you can actually go right ahead and connect your points as so. We're going to line it up as best as I can, and hopefully I don't go rogue on this one. But yeah, so it's going to look like something like that. If you're not perfectly straight like I'm not, again, as long as you're doing your best, it can be a little hard to line them up at times, as you can see. So that would be how you're going to go about taking an equation and a table of values and turning it into a graph like so. Hope that helps.